Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to WhatsApp, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. I'm BonBonB and you're very, very welcome. Right, it's Friday. Friday's the day of the week we turn to the BonBon buddies over on Patreon and say, hey guys, vote us in a map, and they've gone with this one. Now, it's not a new map, it has been on the workshop for about 2.5 years at the time of recording. The creator, however, we have done once in the past. A full 1,129 episodes ago, episode 6. Wow. And wait for this, they got, the blue ribbons. The precursor to the seal of approval. I mean, if you didn't know about it, now you do. And if you had forgotten about it, well, you probably needed some kind of reminder. That's right, clicking that like button and hitting the notification bell are definitely two things that you need to have done by now. Have you? Oh, good. Today's map is Waterfalls of Hope by Antonius. Previously, when we reviewed them, they were Antonius with a capital S, and since putting this caption together, the name seems to have changed down to just Antonius with a lowercase s. Fine. There's your start square, and the waterfalls are in it. Brilliant. The terrain height's very flat, so very buildable, with obviously the mountains and stuff breaking it up a little bit. Then we have resources, which there's a lot of oil going on, and there's ore and well, it's all there, isn't it? It's all there. And if you've got Sunset Harbour and you want to do some fishing, we have 3 of the 4 varieties available to exploit. Not bad considering this came out way before Sunset Harbour. Now, after the workshop, what do we need? Well, it's a mass transit map. You will need mass transit for this one. We're also using the New Caledonia version 2 custom pavement theme, no blue sea, and the realistic 1.2 LUT. There's not really too much to read. There's a fantasy background story if you're into that. Certainly, it is a fantasy map. And a very nicely put together, well-designed, strong fantasy map it is too, if not one that's going to absolutely blow your marbles off, because it's not going to blow your marbles off. It's 2.5 years old, so we're not talking about the fullest of all the best of the mods put into this one. The one thing that I would want to upgrade, I'm going to be honest with you here, is especially this highway. First of all, I don't like the route it's taken. I just don't like the route it's taken at all. I mean, it does the job, but it's just a national road, and this map would lend itself to quite a hearty city. Now, I do get the background story. This is post-apocalyptic world, resettling a fresh bit of land kind of thing. That sort of vibe. Great story. I still would have liked this road to have been at least, let's say, the standard 3-lane highway. And you can always downgrade it if you want to make the map feel more like that. But in terms of playability, the extra lanes, I think, would help. Certainly from more than one direction would help as well. But we have this one solitary, solo, lonely road. Now, if I'm going to be picky, it's my job, I guess. This little bit of elevated at ground level road doesn't need to elevate until we get to the bridge, so I reckon about there. If there's not a node there already, stick in a node, go to ground level before that, and then it does extend a little bit after the river as well before coming down to ground. It's nicely done, but I think it's just extended just a little bit too far. Ignore the rail for now. We are going to be coming back along that rail in a moment, but yeah, the rail is to all intents and purposes absolutely fine. It's as fine as this highway is fine. You might want a second rail line, and of course there are mods that will enable you to do that one. Unlimited outside connections, I believe it's called, off the top of my head. It's been a busy day for me, so my head is swimming in all sorts of other things, so I apologise if I'm wrong. Now, this bridge is for me a little bit too high, only because it doesn't need to be this high. They wouldn't have built it that high. And suspension bridge, is that a bit overkill for that? I mean, it's okay, but I would have dropped that down to at least half the height of what it is. And again, the the ramps going up to it, I would have started them a lot closer as well. Just doesn't quite need to be as splendid, and it is a splendid bridge, but it doesn't need to be anywhere as near as splendid and as bold as it happens to be. Again, 100% vanilla, so this is a lovely, lovely map for those of you that have a lower running capacity PC, or a potato, as some of us like. I'm going to come up with an acronym for potato. You know, I'm going to work on that. Potato really needs to mean something, doesn't it? Anyway, there's your start square. We have a roundabout at the end there just to get you started. And then we have the rail. Now, the rail is elevated in start square. Kind of like it and kind of don't, in equal measures. Nice elevated railway station there. But if we're playing 100% vanilla, I don't think there's an elevated vanilla railway station. So, but it does enable you to actually build an elevated line across the roundabout through into the start square and start just expanding on your rail there. Do like the way this is all this embanked all the way along here as well. It just means that we're not going uppy downy, and generally it's not really an uppy downy kind of map for the rail. We might grumble a little bit when we get towards the edge of the map, but towards the edge of the map it's not going to be seen if we're playing it vanilla. If we're playing this vanilla, anything outside of the 25 tiles is going to be completely fogged out. So there is always that going for it. But yeah, you see the line now goes into this steep valley, and yeah, I'm not really going for that. But hey, does it matter? Does anything matter?
Are you worried that you aren't using all the best mods? And which ones best suit your needs anyway? Then you need the community voted top 10 mods of 2019. Click the information button now.
Yes, 2019, the year that Waterfalls of Hope was released. I thought I had to throw that one in today. It's still relevant though, so definitely worth checking out that. All the mods there are still good and strong, although some of them are upgraded as well. Shipping routes back at Waterfalls of Hope, and we have a couple of shipping routes coming that loop around. They don't need to loop around, but they do, and there's no harm at all in them having a loop around. It goes back off towards the edge of the map over here, and that's all good. It's all good. They don't connect up, so we won't have any ships until you actually start laying down harbours. Waterflow, we have, I've actually got to say, a very aesthetically pleasing river in terms of the shape that it takes through the map. Yeah, credit for this river. I like it. Waterflow, though, yeah, there's waterflow, and the waterflow reaches the waterfalls and then heads out into the ocean. Very nice indeed. Liking the way that, again, good planning here. Look, 25 tiles right in the middle there. That's the playability of the map. It's just all slapped in the middle very nicely. And then we got some suitably nicely designed features. I'm going to say aesthetically pleasing. Aesthetically pleasing is in the eye of the beholder. It doesn't really do it for me aesthetically, but in terms of design, yes, the design really does. We've got some nice little beaches in here. Comes at a good time because I only just released my Terraform Masterclass tutorial on how to do perfect beaches, and probably that's where you could be practicing on this beach here, because that beach just doesn't work at all for me. But there we are. The waterfalls, we have 3 of them. Do you know what? They are good solid waterfalls. In fact, getting the water to run all the way along here equally, that is a skill in itself. So actually a lot of credit for the water play there. Now we have this contaminated area over here, and the big wall, obviously Mr. Trump has been doing his stuff. Now I'm not sure if this is to keep us out or whatever's in there in, but the wall doesn't connect up with anywhere, so I think it's just to discourage us from going out into the contaminated lands over here, because they do look rather contaminated. Now my favourite part of the terrain work is over here. Wait till you see this. I think you'll agree that this, for me in a minute, where the sand meets the rock, look at this line right here. Just right here. Look at this. That there. That is absolutely superb. I really like the way that the desert ends and the non-desert begins on this map. This is incredible work. And even the little bits of rock detailing there, it's just to accent the change in geology. Not sure about the big old rock on the top of there. It's more like a nipple on the top of a mountain. Not for me though. More contaminated lands over here with a wall stopping us from going into them. And there is that. Anyway, so that's the outside of the map. The inside of the map is where all the fun is. Good buildable space, interesting river to build around, interesting waterfalls. Also, this water break here. I even like the repeated nature of the rocks there. Makes it look like it was actually by design. So I think, again, that is good design work once more. And then once you're in the start square, we've got one of these. Oh, we have got one of these. Gilded Age has been at it again. It's a Sabatino scooter shop by Gilded Age. You can obviously prop this one out with a few extra props, a few extra scooters outside. I just plopped in one prop to get us going. But yes, absolutely adore this. I'm not really a scooter person, but I know from the description that Gilded Age is. But yeah, you can't not love the look of them, even if I wouldn't want to ride one. Factoids, because factoids. The Puritans forbade the singing of Christmas carols, judging them to be out of keeping with the true spirit of Christmas. Ah, those Puritans. They're a bundle of laughs, weren't they? Anyway, the Sabatino scooter shop by Gilded Age. I'm loving these little decals on the outside here that just make the whole building pop and come to life. Excellent work, Gilded Age. More like that. Keep coming with your little Italy series. Thank you. And so I think we've pretty much covered the entire map. In fact, I pretty much have covered the entire map. So it's your chance to vote on the map. Is it a 1-star map? Is it a 5-star map? Is it somewhere in between? Your vote really does count. We use it at the end of the month for the Viewers' Choice Top 10. Will this be one of the top 10 maps of the month? Only you can decide. Click the I button now in the top right hand corner of your screen. It will take you to the voting page where you can vote for free with a Facebook, Gmail, Apple or a free Patreon account. Or you can become a paid Patreon and get to vote on the next Friday map yourself. Why not? Come on, join the party. So what do I think of today's map? Aesthetically, okay, it doesn't knock my socks off aesthetically, but I love the design. The design is, for me, a winner. On a slightly older map as well. I kept it fairly simple, and I really approve of that. It's 4 stars, but I can't go higher than the lowish 4. Detailing is okay. I can't find anything wrong with it. It's been well used, if not outstandingly, excitingly well used, you know. So I'm gonna go 3 stars. I'm gonna go towards the top end of 3. Gameplay potential, tough one to call on this one. I think I just would like to have a bigger highway, if not a second highway, if not a second rail line. Those are the things that I think that will make this map pop. I'm going to go for a highish 3, but I can see the interest on this one. Waterfalls of Hope by Antonius, or just Antonius, as it turns out they are now. That's a lot of fun. A lot of fun. As fantasy maps go, I think that's just strong and playable. So get in there and have some fun. Anyway, thanks for watching, for commenting, for liking and for subscribing. If you're still here, you're part of the 20 and out elite. Use the words of the day into the comments to score yourself some population points just for fun. And we'll be back tomorrow with the quirky map. And you thought that map was quirky? You wait till you see tomorrow's. The quirky map of the week tomorrow. Oh yeah.